Um, just a few bits and pieces I should put down. Like here, there's a little bit too much green. What was I doing? I guess I will come out a little bit. Um, like over here. This should be brick. I'm gonna use brick there and there, I think. And then maybe that's it. No, a little bit more brick down there as well, just a little bit. And then maybe that's it. Gonna have to move this dirt. Alright, just a little bit of brick here. Oops, it's too much. Um, this is kind of odd here. I guess it's fine. Let's see, we stick brick there. Well, I mean, there probably should be more stuff. Just like spots. Maybe it's random spots. By spots, I mean like single block bits. That's it down here. Brick and brick. Nether rock spots. Um, looking at this. And like, definitely here. Oops. Mm, Hmm. Interesting. Interesting and a little bit gross. Like look at the, look at the minimap. It's like a mode. Alright, well, the goal was to make it look like a mode, and I believe I have succeeded. It's just stains on the ground. Very cool. Right, very cool. Okay, so then underneath, the rectangle is gonna be the diorite. What does it mean? What is the meaning of this? Okay, so I've been thinking about the meaning of this. Like, what exactly is this supposed to be? Like, the idea is that there's a statue of my head, which by itself is kind of silly. But then imagine if some people discovered like a statue of my head and then decided to worship it as a god. And then they start sacrificing people to the head, even though the head has nothing, there's no meaning behind it. But they decide, oh, it's a head, worship the head. And then so they corrupted the place, they kind of built an altar, and then over time it became more and more corrupt. So there was the altar, and then they built a white courtyard, and then it kind of becomes stained with this with this stuff. So you imagine like something that started off being completely innocent and just gradually becoming more and more messed up over time. And that is the story of what happened here. It's like it just got progressively worse and worse over time. Okay, do I put a black border around it? I think I do. I think I do. Alright, so the outside is a black border, but everything inside this is white, but it's been corrupted. It's white that's been corrupted by this other stone. Oh wait, no, this is gonna be... That's gonna be black stone. And the fact that it's like spilling outside the boundaries of the black stone is just makes it more disturbing. The fact that it's not contained within the forecourt, that it's kind of spilling out a little bit. I should do the outer boundary so I don't get confused. Oh no, don't break everything. But the corruption doesn't actually go up into the stairs. It doesn't go up into the statue. Because they're still afraid of the statue, right? So they stay back from it. It's a metaphor, or maybe a parable, or an allegory. An allegory? It's an allegory for how good intentions become corrupted over time by people who don't understand what they're doing. Some might say it's a critique of organized religion. Anyway, let's not make it too serious. But actually it is. It's a critique of organized religion. It's not like I'm the first person to say it, but if you look at like the Catholic Church, you look at what the Bible actually says, and then you look at what the Catholic Church has become, and they're two different things. Right, like I don't think the people who wrote the Bible imagined that the Catholic Church would become what it is. And that's the whole Protestant pushback, right? The Protestant was like protesting, literally protesting against the what the Catholic Church has become. So I mean, I don't want to get too much into religion, but this is not really religion. It's more like the politics of organized religion, which is more politics than religion. But you know, it's been 2,000 years. Like, over the course of 2,000 years, it's not surprising that people's, like, ideas and, like, an institution might drift over the course of, you know, hundreds of years. It slowly changes character because, you know, people it's like playing a game of telephone, right? Like, you have one person telling another person, and then that person telling the next person. It's like as you go from one generation to the next, you know, you have teachers and students, and then students teach their students. And over time, the message becomes, like, changed. Even if you don't mean to do it. It's like a game of telephone, right? The message changes over time. And then, like, after 5 or 10 generations, it's not surprising to find that the message is completely different from what it was to begin with. It's just a completely different message than what you started with. And that's just the nature of everything. Like, it's not just a critique of religion, it's more like an observation of basically all human endeavor is susceptible to this sort of thing. Mission drift? Mission creep? Mission drift? Right, it's not like you, I mean, you can say, alright, what their mission has drifted, therefore they've done something wrong, like they've made a mistake. Yes. But at the same time, it's a sort of mistake that everybody would make. It's not like you can avoid the mistake. It's a mistake that is kind of inevitable. Which is interesting. Anyway, that's the idea. That's the idea of this build. It's the critique of critique of organized religion. Well, actually, yes and no. So the thing with organized religion, religion especially, is religion discourages, well, I guess organized religion discourages questioning authority, right? And it's not just religion, like a lot of organized institutions are like that. But you actively discourage questioning authority, and so you're discouraged from asking questions like, well, was this really what was originally intended? Right, like that question is sometimes discouraged, and when you do that, then that exacerbates the mission drift. Because you're just following what you are told without questioning why you are told what you are told. But when you don't question why you were told that, then the mission drift becomes more serious. Because if you say, we're heading in, let's say we're going north, right? We're going north. If you tell people we're going north, then as you kind of drift off course, at some point you can say, are we still going north? And you say, oh, well, no, we're not going north anymore. Well, let's go north then. And you get correct. But instead of saying we're going north, you say we're going that way. Like we're going that way. And then over time you drift off course. But then the message is still we're going that way. And whatever way you're going, you're saying we're going that way. And so then there's no correction, right? And if you say, well, why are we going that way? If you're not allowed to ask why we're going that way, then you just keep going, quote unquote, that way, even though you're drifting off course. Whereas if you ask, okay, why are we going that way? What was the original purpose of this journey? And you say, okay, actually, the original purpose of the journey was to go north. So you're like drifting, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, we're supposed to be going north. We're not going that way. We're going north. Okay, so you can have a chance to correct course if you're allowed to ask, why are we doing this in the first place, right? Whereas if you're not allowed to ask why we're doing this in the first place, then you just keep going that way. Even if you are not actually going north anymore. And there's a lot of things you can say about religion, a lot of examples you can find in religion where, like, they would say to do something, but they forget to say why you're doing that thing. And because they don't say why, over time, circumstances change, but people don't adjust.